The reason why you don't have the physique you want is because you're following the current narrative that the fitness industry is pushing, telling you to work out 4 to 6 days a week, do 10 to 20 sets per muscle group, sacrifice your life, live in the gym. I followed that same approach when I got into fitness, and it just led me into constant disappointment and frustration. It was only when I dropped my volume and started working out just 2 to 3 days per week with very brief and intense workouts structured around low volume, high intensity training that my physique progress radically improved.
So tell me a little bit about some tips you have for people trying to stay full and satisfied while on a diet.
So a few keys for staying full on a diet, and obviously staying full is really the most important thing on a diet, because ultimately the key to fat loss success is just to stay full and satisfied while also eating in a calorie deficit every single day. And if you can pull that off, you're gonna lose fat rapidly, right? And that's what I try and solve for with my dieting approach. So a few keys for staying full is you want to focus on whole foods, right? So something like eggs, this is a whole food. Whole foods are single ingredient foods that are very dense in nutrition. You also want to make sure you're getting enough protein. So you actually don't need that much protein to build and maintain muscle. It's about 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, which is really not that much. However, when I'm cutting, since I have a huge appetite, I like to keep my protein at around 1 gram to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight, because protein, is probably the most filling out of the macronutrients. So I like to keep that a little bit higher. It keeps you full for longer, and it also, protein also has a thermogenic effect. So through you, digesting protein, your body burns more calories compared to things like fats and carbs, right? Another tip would be fill up a lot on fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables have lots of fiber, which keeps you full. And you don't want to cut out any macronutrients. So keeping your carbs and your fats at a good level on a diet is extremely important. Fat is another one of those macronutrients that will help keep you full. So you don't want to cut anything out. Your body's going to freak out basically if you cut out any of the macronutrients. It needs all three. So eating a balanced diet that's very rich in whole foods and fruits and vegetables and lean meats and lean animal proteins in general, and then drinking lots of water. Also keeping your sleep routine dialed in. So if you don't get enough sleep, your appetite is gonna go crazy. So on the nights when I don't get enough sleep, I wake up and I'm ravenous, I'm really, really hungry. So there are a lot of different elements that come into play when it comes to keeping your appetite under control. But those are some of the key tips that I would have. That's a personal record, motherfucker. 8 reps, got 7 reps last time. That's a sign of growth. That's what you're shooting for in every single workout. Doesn't usually happen in every single workout, but usually it's more like every other workout. That's what you want to see over time. If you see that, extra rep increase or a little bit of weight added to the bar, that's a sign that your training is working. But most people don't see that because their training fucking sucks.
Would you say that consistency is the biggest key toward achieving your dream physique?
Consistency is by far the most important thing when it comes to fitness and achieving your dream physique. The reason why most people just can't stay consistent over time is because they're not following a sustainable fitness approach. So I love the saying, consistency stems from sustainability. So it's much more important to focus on consistency than intensity, right? Consistency beats intensity any day of the week. And the problem is that most people just go really intense into their fitness routine for a couple months, but then they fall off because it's not something that they can sustain. So I love the saying, if you can't do it for a decade, don't do it for a day. And I would take that to the next level, and I would actually say, if you can't do it for life, don't do it for a day. Because the results that you want are going to be achieved over the long term, right? It's that compounding and consistency over time that leads up to an incredible physique. And most people are just running on a hamster wheel, right? They're following one fitness approach, they can't sustain it, they fall off, they rebound back to their old habits, and then they try something new. And they would be better off just following a more sustainable routine, but done over a long period of time.
Damn, another personal record today.
That's like pretty much linear progress right there. Holy shit. The gold standard. Whew.
So how do you stay so consistent with your workout routine?
I stay very consistent with my workout routine because by the very nature of the philosophy that I teach, it's incredibly sustainable. So there are very few people who could not sustain 2 to 3 brief, intense workouts per week. And that's a big reason why I'm such an advocate, such a proponent of working out 2 to 3 times per week, is because as I mentioned, consistency is much more important than intensity. So you want to follow a workout routine that you can sustain for the best results. Consistency is everything. And most people, if they're honest with themselves, are not going to be able to stay consistent working out 4 to 6, 4 to 7 days per week.
What did you do then?
I just literally opened it.
It's like that when you got here, was it?
It probably was, yeah. Fuck you, man. Yeah. This thing just fucking completely tore off the fucking hinge, man. Like, this is not good.
Tell me a bit about the supplements you take.
So I take a few supplements. I take vitamin D, I take creatine, I take omega-3s, and sometimes a multivitamin. So a lot of people think they need this huge cocktail of supplements, when in reality, if you're eating a well-balanced diet, you're going to get most of your vitamin and micronutrient needs through your diet. But the key is that you're eating a diet that consists of lots of fruits, vegetables, and just whole foods in general. And if you're doing that, you don't need to have this laundry list of supplements that you take. However, some things are very difficult to get through your diet. So creatine, for example, is a very proven supplement to help pack on muscle and strength. So obviously I recommend taking creatine, but that's something that's gonna be really difficult to get through your diet, right? Something like vitamin D, for example. I live in Canada, 6 months of the year, there's barely any sunlight. It's very cold outside. So that's something that you'd want to supplement with, right? Something like omega-3s, if you don't eat a lot of fatty fish, including an omega-3 fish oil in your supplements is a good idea, right? But people think they need a lot more supplements than they really do. You just need to identify what you're not getting through your diet and then supplement with that. And there are some obvious ones, again, vitamin D, omega-3s, creatine, things like that.
You're a big proponent of doing the same workouts over a long period of time to master them. Would you say, though, that people should switch up their workouts if they're feeling bored?
So there's definitely something to be said for keeping your training interesting, right? So you want to strike the perfect balance between sticking with the same exercises long enough to get really, really good at them and master them, and also switching it up here and there to keep your training fun. So what I like to do in that sense is like, I'll switch up my isolation exercises a bit more frequently. So I like to switch those up every couple months just to keep things a little bit more exciting in that sense. I like to stay with my compound lifts, like the core exercises of my routine, for a little bit of a longer period of time, right? It's usually like 4 to 6 months before I swap anything. Ideally, you really want to stick with the same exercises if you're making progress on them. So if you're continuing to make progress on exercises, then you're literally sabotaging your results by switching them, right? Like my bench press is going up. Why would I switch to another exercise, right? Like those are where the gains are made. So the question you have to ask yourself is like, are you training because it's really, really fun, you want to have fun in the gym, or are you training to get results, right? And obviously, you know, those two things are kind of interchangeable. Like you got to have fun with your training, you have to enjoy it to be able to sustain it long term, but you have to strike that balance between enjoying it but also structuring your training for maximum results, which comes down to mastering a handful of compound exercises and getting really, really strong at them over time. That's where the real muscle is going to be built. God damn.
What are your thoughts on people needing to add volume in order to get out of a plateau?
So this idea that when you hit a plateau with your muscle and strength that you need to throw more volume, do more, is like beating a dead fucking horse. And this just puts people deeper into a wall of stagnation. So most people come to me and, you know, they've hit a wall. They're like, Rio, like, I don't think I can add more training. I'm already working out 6 days a week. How do I break through this plateau? I'm like, bro, you need to fucking reduce the amount of volume you're doing in the gym. People think that they need to add more. It's like, that's the complete opposite of what you want to do. You plateau because your recuperative abilities, like you're placing too much fucking demand on your body and it's not actually able to respond. It's not able to recover and grow from that stimulus, right? So what you want to do instead is you want to reduce the amount of volume that you're doing. That is the key, because here's the truth. You actually will be able to handle the most amount of volume at the beginning of your training journey. And why that is because you're not strong. You're not moving heavy weight. Therefore, you're not placing very much demands on your body. Therefore, you can handle more volume. The more advanced you get, even when you're intermediate advanced, you have to fucking reduce the volume because you're lifting heavy weights and that's very stressful on the body. Therefore, you have to cut the volume back. And that is how you break through a plateau. It's not about adding more shit, more exercises, sets, more training days. It's about actually reducing, freeing up some of your recuperative abilities to then be able to actually recover and grow from the work you're doing in the gym. And that's how you break fucking plateaus. So much head rush.
So do you have some tips for bent over rows?
Yeah, so a few tips for bent over rows is that, you know, most people, their egos get in the way when they're doing rows and they end up doing like a very short range of motion like this. And most people put way too much importance on the squeeze when it comes to rows and various back exercises, when really the most tension is placed in the stretched position. So you want to make sure you're letting your shoulders round a little bit like this. So the lower back needs to be arched, right? You never want to round your lower back on any rows or deadlifts. So that has to be arched, but the upper back needs to round slightly in order to get the maximum stretch on the lats. So that's really, really important. So it ends up looking kind of like this. So you bring it up here, and then you sort of let it extend, and then you bring it up here. And most people will tell you to bring it to your belly button, but that's actually not where you get the greatest range of motion. So you get the greatest range of motion when, of course, you let your shoulders round, but you also bring it up to your chest. So that's what I recommend. That's where you get the longest range of motion. That's where you get the most growth. And then, of course, you want to keep your glutes and your hamstrings tight, because that's what's stabilizing you throughout the movement.
So when people get injured at the gym, do you think that they should take some time off the gym, push through it, or try and work around it?
Yeah, so most retards will tell you no pain, no gain. They'll tell you to push through the pain because, if not, you're not a hardcore gym rat, you're not a bodybuilder. It's like, so dumb. That's imbecile fucking thinking right there. You want to never, ever push through injuries. Chances are you're probably going to be a dumbass at one point or another and push through it. And you will soon learn the harsh realities that it's almost always better to just step out. Don't do the exercise that's causing pain. Don't push through the pain, because you're just going to set yourself back further. So I've gone through periods of time where I was so caught up in just, training, adding weight to the bar, making strength gains. And I would ignore these signs that I was overdoing it, these signs that I was starting to develop some issues, some injuries, right? And I would keep pushing through it, and then before you know it, I'd be out, for a couple months. And that just sets you back so much further than if you would just don't do the workout, don't push through the pain, like step away from the gym, don't train until you're better, okay? One of the most valuable lessons you'll ever learn when it comes to your training, because ultimately the key to building a great physique is just to be able to fucking train long term without experiencing any setbacks or injuries, right? Otherwise you're gonna keep going, you're gonna hit a bump, and then you're gonna have to take a few steps back, and you have to keep going, you're gonna keep slaying the same fucking dragon, the same demon, right? In order to make continual progress, you have to be very in tune with your body, listen to your body, make sure you're not pushing through injuries. When you listen to your body, and you feel these signs of injuries coming on, just fucking take time off, let it recover, and then you'll come back better than ever.
So what do you say to people that say that you cover a lot of the same topics over and over again in your videos?
So I am a firm believer that as human beings, we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. I think there is a lot of power in just focusing on consuming one message and just absolutely mastering that message. So what I've done in my life that has been absolutely transformative is to look at my mind like a garden, right? So everybody plants plants, right? That's what you have in gardens. But amongst those plants that were intentionally planted, you have weeds that start to grow in, right? And through consuming too many different messages and too much different shit, that's all weeds, and it starts to cloud the plants that you initially planted, and you can no longer see those plants, right? So I like to look at my mind like a garden, and I like to nurture the plants that I intentionally put there, and then police the garden to get rid of the weeds that grow in. And the way those weeds grow in is by consuming too many messages, too much novel shit. So what you have to ask yourself, if you're someone who is sick of hearing the same shit repeated over and over again, is like, am I actually doing this? Because knowing and not doing is the same as knowing fuck all, right? So you have to ask yourself, like, am I just like, do I just have shiny object syndrome? Am I just wanting to consume all this different shit just because I like novelty? And the truth be told, like, as human beings, we are programmed to like novelty, we like new shit, but results are found in doing the old, basic, non-sexy shit over and over again over a long time horizon. Fucker.
So how much fitness content do you think people should actually consume?
So this might seem kind of counterintuitive given the fact that I create fitness content, but I think you should only consume what you actually need to apply, right? So I mentioned that knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing at all. And I think most fitness channels are just vehicles for mental masturbation. Most channels are just putting out videos of like critiquing other people, reaction videos, and I don't do shit like that because I care about getting people results. You know, I'm a business owner, and you know, business is all about getting people their desired outcomes, right? I'm all about getting you results in the quickest and easiest way possible, right? And that's why my content is very specifically engineered for people to apply it. And if you look through my comment section, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but if you look at really big fitness channels, a lot of them, they have millions of subs, but they don't get the people they don't get the comments that I get in my comment section of people saying like, holy fuck, Rio, like I applied your shit. It's been working so well. And that's because I'm not a provider of, you know, mental masturbation content that's just designed to have you in this constant like cycle of consuming endless shit. I specifically engineer it so that you do it, and it's working, and that's why a lot of people are getting results and praising the methodology that I teach.